book likes for you, and try to draw this in a big thing here. And you being sixth graders really should have the mental capacity to be able to figure all of this out. But you should see, ladies and gentlemen, the relationship between, we'll call this our reference table. Reference table. What's reference mean? You refer back to it if you get stuck. You should be able to really give the correlation and the relationships between fractions, decimals, and percents. And we use different ones at different times, depending on what's going on, however, whatever it is. And the book starts us off with something pretty simple here. How about that for a nice straight line? Not bad. You know, if the fraction is 1/2, I mean this one you already know, 1/2 as a decimal is 0.5, and as a percent it is 50%. Now those are easy ones because it's like common knowledge because you've dealt with them for so long. But what about this? If the decimal is 0.3, well, what fraction is that? How do I know? It is, well, how do you say this number? It is 3 what? No, it's not hundredths, it's 3/10. And just make sure it's reduced. This one is. And then what percent? How do I change a decimal to a percent? Or a fraction to a percent, but decimal. We talked about this. It's a simple little matter of doing what, Riv? Multiply by 100. And what is 0.3 times 100? That's mental math because all you need to do is move the decimal 2 places. So you get 30%. Or what if you're given 15%? Really, to go from percents to decimals, well, I suppose you might just as well go from that. It doesn't really matter. What would you do next and why, Ellie Stewart? Would you make that a decimal or a fraction first? What is it as a decimal?
0.15.
Right, because just like here we moved it 2 places to the right there, to go from here to here you divide by 100, which means you move the decimal back 2 places. So it's 0.15. And then what is that as a fraction? Kendall?
15 over 100.
Except if you put 1500s, you'd probably get it wrong because you can reduce it by what?
5 over 5.
Yep, divide by 5 over 5. You get 3 over 20. Is there a hard one that the book gives us? No. They give us 40%, but that's something we did. Like, there's got to be a harder one here. What if they give you, well, 5%? Here's where you have to be careful when it's a single-digit percent. What is that as a decimal, Brody Greer? 5% as a decimal is?
Is 0.05.
Right, because you move it 2 places, 0.05. What is that as a fraction, Lily Johnson?
1/2.
Now 1/2 is 0.5. This is 0.05. Oh, don't just start guessing on me. How do you say this number? It's 5 in what place?
What?
No, there's no one. One's place is up here and there's nothing here. 10th place, this is the 100th place. So it is 5 in the 100th place, and that reduces down to Aiden?
1/20.
1/20th. 1/20th. That is the deal. Good stuff. All right. What?
Yeah, please use the drawing.
No. Only because of the way you asked it.
What?